Hey guys, it's me, back on Ace Industry, and I'd like to welcome you guys to a brand new series. So this one is going to be a lot different from what I usually do. It's not paper craft, nor is it just art, drawing art. It's more focused on tutorial and teaching you guys how to draw. So I brought two copies with me today, and the first one, this is the first video, so it's just going to be a briefing. Now the copy on the right is an empty copy which we'll be using to show you guys how to do, it's basically for the tutorials, and on the right is the one that I just recently finished. So yeah, this is not our finished artwork kind of note copy. This is just a random sketchbook I used to practice, and it finished 2 weeks ago. I finished it in about a month, so yeah, that's pretty dope. I haven't done that since forever. And this one I'm hoping to finish in a month as well, or maybe even less, because we're doing tutorials, right? We're gonna use up a lot of pages. So basically I'd like to talk about 4 fundamentals of art which we'll be discussing on this series. And the first video, which is this one, is just going to be a briefing of what is going to come on the days in the next few days. So the first thing is going to be form and anatomy. The first thing is going to be shapes. Now by shapes I mean we're going to be discussing about things like, let me find a good picture. Can't really find one. Maybe stuff like, okay, I can't really find that. So basically the shapes are going to be, we're going to be discussing about different shapes like spheres, cubes, and turn them in perspective, turn them into a 3D object. So that's going to be our next episode, next video of this series. It's going to be on shapes, and that's going to be pretty boring for you if you already have a good idea, but I still recommend you guys watch that video because it's going to make sense in the days to come, in the videos to come, to watch that video. So after that we're going to be focusing on anatomy. The most fun thing is the anatomy, and I'm pretty sure you guys came to this series for anatomy as well, but before that I'd like you guys to have a small idea about forms and perspective, which comes in the next episode like I already mentioned. Now this anatomy thing is quite confusing sometimes. So anatomy is basically like these things, right? So yeah, we're going to be discussing about the body anatomy along with the face anatomies. Like let's take this for example, the face structure and how you can make the eyes and stuff, because my cousin sister asked me to do this. It's like an eye tutorial because most people find eyes very hard to draw, and I know you guys want to draw eyes properly as well. Well, not really necessarily eyes, there's a lot of things to focus on, but like it's just an example. And after the anatomy we will be discussing values. So these are values. Values is basically shading, that comes third. Anatomy is far more important than knowing how to shade, because without a good sketch you can't make anything look good. That's what I learned. I've been practicing art just for a couple years now, maybe 1.5 years. I didn't take art much seriously before that, but I started looking to tutorials on the recent months. So yeah, this is going to be fun for me as well, a good learning experience for me, and for you guys obviously it's going to be good as I'm sharing all that I've learned in the recent days. So yeah, if you guys want to check out my actual portfolio, it's on my Instagram, and if you like that, then you can hop on to this series where I'll show you guys how to do that kind of artworks. It's more of a digital art based over there on my Instagram, but I think you will enjoy it. So now the final thing, the fourth and the final thing after value would be composition. Now composition is not necessarily my strong suit. I swear I did some over here, for example. Yeah, this page that I drew uses a lot of composition ideas that I learned along the way. So it's basically to create your original art pieces. Composition, it's all that. It's just to make your own original pieces, and make them come to life. So those are all the 4 fundamentals we'll be tackling on this series. So yeah, we're gonna start the next episode with shapes. The next one after that will be a lot of videos after that will be mostly focused on anatomy, gesture drawing, and just body in general. And that's going to be the most exciting. And the last 2 ones you don't really need to focus on. It's more shading and creating original artworks. So let's give you guys a brief overlook of my art sketch copy that I finished recently. So here's the first page. Not necessarily much things. This is more of a finished but not really kind of artworks. The more rough ones are at the back. So yeah, here's some hand practices. This comes under anatomy, by the way, so yeah, get ready for that. And more gesture drawing, more anatomy studies here and there, and then more kind of finished artworks. These are not finished, by the way. The finished artworks on my Instagram, they are all digital. So yeah, next page is empty mostly. Actually, let's move on. Let's come from the back side. So we've got this, a lot of motion drawings that I learned from YouTubers. Oh, by the way, I forgot to suggest some YouTubers. Yeah, if you want a more in-depth knowledge, then I can recommend some YouTubers. But in the beginning, those videos can overwhelm you guys a lot, so I decided to create this series. Also, most people don't like to watch tutorials, so if you're watching this, it's totally a bonus for you. You're definitely going to improve on the days to come, or maybe you already have. So yeah, some YouTubers would be Angel Ganev for the facial features, and then Mark Brunette for the anatomy body, and for the composition I'd recommend David Finch, and for the values I'd say Sammy's art and Proco. Proco is for everything basically. There's a lot like Cynic's designs for backgrounds or faces. Psychra, is that how it's pronounced? There's many, but those are all I can think of right now. So this is just a lot of random stuff on the back side. Alright, the Asaro head, this one is pretty important. And there's the perspective I learned from David Finch. These are mostly random scribbles. And there's my anatomy study of Psychora's anatomy model. A lot of things I tried to learn past month. More gesture. These are the ones on the back are the ones I did without using references, which I would most definitely not suggest, because references are very much necessary. Or that one I drew because I saw it on the metal song, prog metal, Animals as Leaders Monomyth. More stuff I drew out of memory just to test myself. And here comes the value study. More value studies along with some anatomies, and then an empty page, some gesture drawings, more gesture drawings, more gesture drawings. Well, these are mostly figure drawings. This one is the most fun bit, so I'll let you guys know how to do that. And here's the hands, the most troublesome one of them all. And there's the expressions. So if you want a separate video for this, I can most definitely do it. Expression studies are very fun if you understand the faces. I'm not really that good at drawing like the YouTubers who teach art, but I can share some knowledge I learned, so that's why I decided to start this series. This series is mostly for my subscribers, my friends, my families, and people I know generally who would understand what I teach. So yeah, for people dreaming too big, I think you're gonna have to watch real tutorials on YouTube. I'm just teaching you how to draw the basic stuff, very lightly, just touching on the surface a little bit. yeah, there it is. We did a full 360 and we're back to the start. Now that's all. So let's bring out our new copy. This is the new one, by the way. It's completely empty, and we'll make a new tutorial on this in the next video. So yeah, this is all. If you got any question or any suggestion for this series, then most definitely leave them on the comment section below. And yeah, let's do a briefing of the 4 fundamentals I'll be discussing. The next video is going to be shapes, which includes forms and perspective. After that, we're going to do a lot of anatomy and different things that you guys want to learn. And finally, we're going to do the values, that means shading, and decomposition, which means making comic pages, sort of like that, or your original artworks. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the first video. Hope you enjoy this series, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.